This is one of the many reasons I can't take this league seriously. This is one of the many reasons that I refer to the WNBA as pretend basketball. This league is literally the world of make-believe. It's a league of myths and fantasies, mythical racism, fake victims. The media describes WNBA players as elite athletes, which is one of the greatest myths ever told. There are players in the WNBA pretending to be stars. The on-court product almost resembles basketball. And now, in the latest fantasy presented by the WNBA, we have a story involving synthetic hair. I didn't know the wicked weave Joy Reid applied to be a WNBA player. I knew she was looking for work. I knew she was desperately searching for gainful employment along with a reliable form of transportation. When MSNBC fired the artist formerly known as Weave back in February, they also confiscated her broom. Ever since, our bundle of joy has been relying on the method of transportation that is preferred with those who are worried that the earth could spontaneously combust: feet. I knew Joy Reid was frantically looking for another primary subsidizer, but I did not know that she was signed to a contract at league minimum with the Phoenix Masculines in the WNBA. What a fall from grace. Joy Reid went from making millions at MSNBC to collecting Ethiopian breadcrumbs in the WNBA dump. All kidding aside, Joy Reid obviously isn't playing in the WNBA, but that does not mean she is not inspiring the next generation of balding beauties. Sunday afternoon, the Phoenix Masculines were playing against the Washington Mythicals. Quick, name one player on either one of these teams. Anyone? Can anyone name one of the Phoenix Masculines? KC Bob Griner plays for the Masculines. She was the inspiration for the name of the team. Bob is great! Bob no longer plays in Phoenix. Apparently, Bob was too masculine for the Masculines. Can anyone identify one player on the court Sunday afternoon? No one? Well, that's a bit strange. According to the mainstream media, the WNBA is more than just one player. This league is filled with huge stars. Anytime I ask someone to identify a WNBA player not named Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, they can't ever seem to give me a name. I once asked someone who was the biggest star in the WNBA not named Caitlin Clark. Now, this person had blue hair, and they had a gigantic ring in their nose that looked to be attached to a leash. I figured if anyone could identify a WNBA player, it would be this lovely identifier. I asked the Blue Power Ranger they/them to identify the biggest star in the WNBA. They told me it was RuPaul. Anyway, Sunday afternoon, the unknowns from Phoenix were playing anonymous players from the DC metro area. At one point during this exciting contest of elite athleticism, there was a stoppage in play. Initially, the hundreds of spectators in the bleachers at the local Boys and Girls Club thought the game was stopped for an injury, or a clock malfunction. Maybe the power bill didn't get paid again and the lights were shut off in the gym. But as it turns out, the stoppage of play, it was due to something more serious. One of the players on the Phoenix Masculines had a wardrobe malfunction. Well, Uncle KC, did an opposing player accidentally or intentionally take her jersey off? No, instead of removing an article of clothing, they accidentally removed a head of hair. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't normally review movies, mainly because I don't watch them. But I did watch Happy Gilmore 2 over the weekend, and I was kind of disappointed. Adam Sandler movies are always hit or miss, but the original Happy Gilmore is such a classic. My expectations were high for the sequel, but as is often the case, the sequel was nowhere near as good as the original. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Kahleah Copper is an accomplished veteran player in the WNBA, but my name is Kahleah Copper.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
She was the MVP of the WNBA Finals in 2021, four-time All-Star. She also won the championship in Unrivaled earlier this year. Of course, most people don't know that because no one watches Unrivaled. And most people had never heard of Kahleah Copper until Sunday when she experienced an embarrassing wardrobe malfunction, which is often the case in the WNBA. It is extremely rare for WNBA players to be known based on their unbelievable skill set. Think about it. Bob Griner became famous for her extended vacation in Russia with Vlad Puder, and yeah, I can't think of another famous player in the WNBA. But during the game on Sunday, there was a stoppage in play. As you can see here, Kahleah Copper appears to be maybe attempting a dribble handoff with one of her teammates. Unfortunately, her extensions were a bit too extended, and her teammate accidentally got her hand caught in the weave. Gravity takes control, and the weave nearly touches the court. Embarrassing moment for Kahleah Copper, obviously. Kind of feel bad for her, but it was also a funny moment. Hell, even the announcers who were calling the game were kind of laughing about it. It wasn't malicious laughter. They weren't making fun of Kahleah Copper, and even if they were, who cares? It was a funny moment. It was the equivalent of a blooper, which, as you guys know, bloopers happen multiple times per game in the WNBA. Of course, the league refers to them as plays, but this should have been a funny moment. Kahleah Copper runs to the locker room to fix her hair. Everyone moves on. Unfortunately, that was not the case. For starters, the game shouldn't have been stopped over a barber malfunction. I've never seen an NBA game stopped because JJ Redick had a cow lick. If your hair falls off, kick it to the side and keep playing. Which, by the way, I thought the primary sponsor in the WNBA was Just for Men. This is a horrible look for Just for Men. You can't be the primary sponsor of the league while players' hair is literally falling on the court. Apparently, there was a fan in attendance. I know, shocker. I was surprised that there was someone at this game too. But there was a fan in attendance, and he was laughing about the barber malfunction. Perhaps he was making jokes. Maybe he asked for a lock of hair as a souvenir. I don't know. What I do know is, entitled WNBA players, they called arena security, and they had this fan removed from the arena for his egregious behavior. This is why I have no sympathy for this league. This is why I don't take the WNBA seriously. This is also why I refuse to support pretend basketball. Nick Wright can call me a loser all he wants, but I refuse to support this. I refuse to support entitlement. I refuse to support players who think they're immune to criticism. What the hell's wrong with this league? Why can't you take a joke? You want to know why the WNBA can't take a joke? You want to know why WNBA players are allergic to criticism? They're insecure. And the reason they're insecure, they know their product is inferior. They know the WNBA product is substandard. There are embarrassing moments. There are bloopers in the NFL all the time. Hell, the NFL puts together compilations making fun of themselves. Same with the NBA, Major League Baseball. There are going to be bad plays. There will be times when a dude gets hit in the face with the ball. Hell, the NBA was criticized during the playoffs because some teams were struggling to inbound the ball. One of the easiest plays in basketball, and NBA teams were struggling with it. Anytime the WNBA is criticized, they lash out. If you criticize this dump of a league, they might accuse you of mythical racism. How many times this season have we seen fans removed from WNBA arenas? For decades, they have been begging people to show up. For decades, they have been begging America to pay attention to this unbelievably bad product. And when people are finally willing to pay attention, they kick them out of the arena. I keep telling you, this league is not ready for prime time. Caitlin Clark is ready. When Juju Watkins is eligible to be drafted, she's going to be ready. Of course, that's assuming the WNBA exists when Juju Watkins is eligible. If WNBA players go on strike, it's entirely possible that this league ceases to exist. There are some players in the WNBA who are ready for the spotlight, but the league as a whole ain't ready. I guarantee you, ESPN won't include this in their not top 10. Now, I haven't watched SportsCenter since the NBA season ended. I'm assuming they're still doing the not top 10. If they do, I promise you, ESPN will not include this. ESPN's part of the problem. Like the rest of the mainstream media, they refuse to criticize this league. They refuse to make harmless jokes about the WNBA. This should have been a funny moment. You're not fooling anyone. Everyone knows WNBA players modify their hair. Hell, most women walking the streets have synthetically modified hair. Who cares? There's nothing wrong with it. I don't understand why you're running away from it. I don't understand why the WNBA is running away from what could be a funny moment. Embrace it. What the hell's wrong with sharing a moment with your fan base? I don't get it, which is probably why I am not a consumer of the WNBA product, because they damn sure don't get it. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.